And so there's a lot of complaint on the original Zaku 2 when it came out as the first kit in the Origin series that it doesn't come along with the machine gun. It does have a lot of complaints, so Bandai just give you a re-release with a machine gun, and the machine gun is not just a plain machine gun, it comes with the I think this the bullet attached to the back. But anyways, we're gonna take a look at first. So at the side here we can see that this is some illustration, and then we have the pilots. You know, red have a horn, that's called 3 times speed. And then this one right here, we have the machine gun, we have this one right here. So this is the thing that I just talked, it's the bell-fed machine gun, and this is the anti-ship rifle, the bazooka, and then all kind of hands and markings. And then, you know, we're just gonna quickly open it. Right now, let's take a quick look of the instruction manual and the runner. So first we can see this is the cover, and then we have some information down near the specs, the model number, height, overall width, and then you know, based on the settings in the anime. And then there's the English text there. You can read it. I'm not going to do the reading. We'll flip it to the back. We can see all kinds of marking, introduction, and then we have you know, all kinds of introduction and the sticker guide. We open it, we can see the instruction of the all kinds of weapons. And also this one is a little bit special. It works exactly like an RG that you have to insert another piece of little pieces there to hold it on the action base. And we know we're just gonna quickly look through the instruction manual. Okay, so now it's done. So first we're gonna look at the C runner. This is all the pipes on the Zaku. We got the legs. This is the legs pipe. This is the torso, and this is the head. And then we have a B1 runner, which contains the feet part and torso part, and also the mono eye. This is the mono eye, and also the knees part and the arms part. And this is the A2 runner, contains the waist part, contains some part of the torso, and then some part of the waist as well. This is a B2 runner. It's the backpack. And yeah, it's mostly the backpack. A D2 runner, which contains the inner frame of the arms, some part of the legs as well. And then we got an A1 runner, which contains a shield. I believe this is part of the arms. This is the spike shoulders, and then we have the head. We also had the shoulders right here, and then some hand caps here. We have an H3 runner, contains a machine gun. In fact, actually 2 machine guns and 2 thrusters. This is a OW2 runner, which is the belt bullet that attached on the backpack. We have a D1 runner. We have a D1 runner, which contains the inner frame of the MS as well. There's legs part and arms part as well. We have an E1 runner, which contains the legs part, feet part, part of the hands, part of the shoulders, and yeah, but mostly it's on the legs. And lastly, we have a F runner, which contains hands option, bazookas, anti-ship gun, and then we have the Heat Hawk 2 sides of the Heat Hawk, which I assume you can choose one of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we have very basic polycaps and one large sticker, which looks like an RG sticker, but it's not. It contains the mono eye and contains the marking on the gunpla. So, you know, guys, let's not talk too much. Let's jump straight to the build. Hey guys, welcome back to the review of these Char Zaku 2. So this is the finishing project, and I honestly need to say though, this gunpla it is pretty beautiful for a HG, and I also think for a details, the Origin series never let you down on the details of the gunpla. But one thing that I'm very, disappointing about is the waist got the same problem. Like the RG is so shaky. And I'm always, worrying about it's gonna pop out in no time. And this is my complaint about the HG and the RG as well. Well, overall, I think this gunpla is doing a very good job. The details on it is amazing, and the color separation on it is doing a very good job. Except just a couple parts, you might need to use a gunner marker to kind of fill out the spot for yourself. But other than that, it's pretty fine. And also the tube right here. It's always one thing that I talk about. It's just so shaky. It's so sloppy on the legs here. But overall, it's an HG, so I can't complain too much. But anyways, let's dive straight in, and we'll talk about the details later. First, we're gonna talk about the head. So the head can move side to side as well. It's a ball joint on the neck, and this head is it doesn't work like an RG, but it does have a small piece here that you can move on the bottom. So as you can see, if I move this thing, the mono eye will move on the top. So I really think that this part is like the Origin Zaku's got the best part. And I'm still asking this question: how come the DJ can't do it when a normal Zaku can do this? Well, anyway, the Zaku's head is moving pretty freely, and also there's an extended joint, so you can move up and down a slightly little more, and you can move the head front and back like this. So overall, I think the head articulation and the function in it is very good. Now let's look at the chest. So the chest right here, as we can see a lot of details. So we can see this small hole right here. Is actually, you have to repaint it to gray in order to see it. I believe this is like a submachine gun thing on the chest. And other than that, the chest have a very interesting mechanic. As the shoulders and this chest piece actually moving together, it kind of looks like the X-shear mechanic that I mentioned before in the RG review, and the HG as well. So the arms can rotate around 360 freely, and it can bend up to a pretty good angle. The hands down here can be moved as well. It can horizontally turn as well. So it does have like a RG-ish mechanic where you can expand the top armor, but not really much. Same as the other side as well. And the Zaku shield can move to other places. And at the side of the shield, we can see some, decal as well. And the thing that I don't like, and the whole Zaku body can turn 360, absolutely no problem. It can turn 360, absolutely no problem. But the thing is, if you shake it, you can see it's actually pretty shaky down on the waist here, and it got the same problem just like the RG. The waist is constantly shaking, and it actually feels pretty annoying. Oh, before I move on to the waist, I forgot to tell you that the both of the shoulders can't lift above 90 because they got a separate piece of armor blocking in their way, and also they can move pretty front as well. The arms is actually pretty nice. And move down to the waist, the front waist armor is an individual armor, so it can move by itself. And the side armor here, this is the part I don't like, is actually a side skirt, but it's a ball joint, which is very limited movements and very easy to pop out. So you might want to when you messing around with the gunpla, you might want to look at the side skirt. The back skirt is absolutely cannot be moved, and there's two picks here. You normally won't use the top one. You would just use this bottom one to kind of put the spare ammo on it like this. Just find a white spot, and then just put it on like this. And it's not really stable, but that's another story. The legs can kick to the front, can kick to the back, kick to the side, and it can bend on a pretty good angle. But it's not bending too much. It's hardly 90 degrees because the pipe is constantly blocking in the way, and you can't really see it. But we can see there's like a RG-ish design where the kneecap is actually reattracting back to the gunpla as well. So and then we look at the down of the legs here, is actually a pretty large ball joint. So because there's a piece of armor right here, so you can't really move to the side, you can only kick up and kick down. There's not much to talk about on the feet as well, but overall, you have to just take a moment to appreciate the details on the legs. It's actually pretty nice as well. If you take a closer look, it almost looks like an RG type of these details on it, although it doesn't necessarily like RG, but it's close enough to be an RG detail. Now let's just turn around and quickly take a look at the backpack. The backpack is not actually much to say about, because all Zaku backpacks basically look the same except for the landminer that I did like a long time ago. Is a P-band die. And the thrusters down here is a ball joint, so you can move freely, and that's pretty much it. There's not much to talk about the backpack, although on the backpack you can actually equip a little clip here that for the bazooka to later store on the gunpla, and we also have an extra plug here for you to put in the machine gun with the bullet tape on later, so we can talk about later. And now we are moving on to the accessory. Let's start to talk about the accessory. So first we have two heat hawk. One of them you can put on the gunpla, and one of them is for display purposes. To put on the Zaku is pretty simple. You just find a spot and basically just shove it in, and there you go. You already put it on like this. So it's pretty simple as it's pretty simple. And the second thing we have is a very typical Zaku machine gun, and the scope can be moved, and the handle down here can be moved as well. The magazine can be take off like the RG ones, but on the HG one is much tighter and it's pretty hard to take it off. So I would try to avoid to break the parts. So I would just tell you that you can take the magazine off, but just be careful. And then the third option is we have this belt type machine gun which you can connect it on the backpack. You just have to find a spot right here and then just basically plug it in. If I can find a spot, okay, where is it? Yeah, right here. So you can basically just find a spot and then plug it in, and then just make the hands hold the machine gun. Just give me a minute. I'm just have to take it off right at the moment. So like this, and then next up we have a anti-ship rifle. So the scope is not movable, and we have a sticker right here, and we can see that it's a pretty long size. And spoiler alert, when you try to hold it on the Zaku, it will actually drop because the hand is not supposed to hold something that heavy. And then next up we have a small action base connector right here. You just have to put it right between the legs, and that's fine. And then we have a trigger hand, we have an open hand, that's it. And then lastly we have a bazooka. We can see that the side of the handle is movable and it's pretty sloppy as well. The scope can be moved as well, and the handle down here can be moved as well. And here's the funny part, it actually have the same mechanic like the RG. You can take off the magazine and then put it back on, and you can hear that clear sound. And the model kit come with two more accessory for the bazooka ammo, so you can actually put them on the side of the shield, which you can absolutely have the anime scene where Char ran out of the bullet in the bazooka and then just grab another magazine off the shoulders. So here's the thing, only the bazooka can be stored on the gunpla itself, so it's pretty simple. You just have to move away all the you just have to move away all the things, and then you just have to find that this circle spot right here, just plug it in, and there you go. You can store the bazooka on the backpack, but not the anti-ship rifle, so you will have to find another way to contain it. And of course, lastly, we have an extra magazine of the machine gun. You can store it on the side skirt or just put it on the back, as I mentioned before. And that's pretty much all the accessory that we got. Honestly, though, the comparison between the first release of the Origin Zaku 2 is this Zaku 2 came with 2 more machine guns, and it got different set of decals, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, this is pretty much the introduction and the review. All right, guys, this is basically the end of the review, and thank you for watching. So the difference between the red Comet version is they give you 2 extra machine guns, which you can switch around, and they also give you the new set of decals. And basically if you're not really a big fan of Zaku's, you don't really have to buy this. If you have the first release, and this is the second release of this Zaku. Basically, is that if you someone really like machine guns, you can just get another one, or you can just turn the first one into the Build Divers ballistic Zaku, and then just buy this new one as your new Zaku, and then just use the origin one to turn into the ballistic Zaku with the builder set. That's a little bit suggestion of me. And also, I really think though all the Zakus do have one problem, is the waste problem, and it's honestly pretty frustrating. And I really hope they can fix this in the future when they have to do the revived version of Zaku's, like whoever Zaku is that. And that's pretty much it. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid kit and it's pretty good. A lot of weapons for you to play around. So if you're someone that like to shoot photos with your gunpla, I'm definitely recommend you buy one, and you will have a very great time. Shoot like 20 photos with different weapons. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Leave a like on my videos and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in another gunpla review. Goodbye.